Because you wouldn't believe it. I just spent the last 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, rabbiting a lot of nonsense, and then I go and press the back button and it all gets cancelled. So I've got to start again. Bloody hell. Isn't that annoying, eh? Well, yeah, there's a couple of things that come into my mind. One of them is this business of freedom of speech, you see, which the Americans treasure very much, pretty much like they treasure the right to bear arms, you know. Well, whilst I agree with the form of the right to free speech, I think is excellent. The right to bear arms, I can't agree with at all. I mean, you know, it's just, to me, it's symptomatic of a violent society, you know. It's all very well, you say you're going to go out hunting with it, but then you just go and shoot any bloody thing that moves, you know. You know, so I don't agree with that, sorry mate, but there we are, that's me. But the freedom of speech I would go along with 100%. I think it's a bloody good concept, and we should have it in this country. I mean, we do have it to some extent. You got like the speaker's corner, and you get some old geezer that comes along with his soapbox, plonks it there, stands on it, and spouts all his stuff, you know. 90% of it's rubbish, but that's all right. We're all entitled to share rubbish, aren't we? I mean, I'm an unashamed purveyor of rubbish, I am. But, you know, I don't mind. You know, it's just how I'm not so arrogant as to think that what I say is the gospel truth, or is what makes sense for everybody, you know, or whatever. But anyway, that's how it is with me. I think every town should have a speaker's corner in it, so somebody can take his soapbox, go on there, maybe, well, perhaps not a megaphone, but get on there and give it some vocally, you know, talk about, I don't know, whatever you want to talk about. Because most English people are very reticent, aren't they? We are a very reticent people, you know. We don't like to make complete arses of ourselves, you know. We think that people are going to think that, you know, trying to draw attention. The Americans call us stuffed shirts for good reason, I think. You know, as they are much more inclined to express how they think and what they feel. That's why they go on programs like Jerry Springer or whatever. But anyway, that's that out of the way. Well, the other thing I want to do, YouTube actually is a good source, a good vehicle, shall we say, to be able to express what one thinks. You know, you haven't got an audience other than virtual or the other side of that bloody screen, you know, because all I can see is myself, reflection of me there. So basically I'm talking to myself, which is probably the first sign of complete madness, but never mind. What I was going to actually go on to is this freedom of speech business in America. You see, with relation to extremist groups such as the Westboro crowd, the Westboro Baptist lot, you know, they're a pretty vile lot, aren't they? Horrible. And but they show themselves for what they are. You know, there's no two ways about it. These people, they spout the most vile, evil. Of course, vile is an anagram of evil, isn't it? So, and you know, how can anybody stand there and say God hates America, you know, or death to gays and all that stuff, or thank God for AIDS, or I don't know, it's rubbish, isn't it? Eh? But they show themselves for what they are, lunatics. So, whereas over here, if they're in this country, they'd be locked up, wouldn't they? They'd be whisked away because of inciting hatred or something, which is probably to some extent true, because, you know, you'd get the counter lot coming along and screaming abuse at them, you know. So the closest that we got is the English Defence League, who are, you know, a bit of nasty like they are, but at least they're clever enough not to come out with stuff that the Westboro lot do, you know. But, or sensible, shall I say. I wouldn't use it because they're not clever people, but it's a bit more sensible than the Westboro lot. So, but they are nasty, you know. They've taken our flag as well, which I resent. That's our flag they've taken, and they've used it for their own purposes, because the English people don't all think like them. See, they're only a minority. Anyway, that's by the by. The other thing I wanted to talk about is this business of animal husbandry, particularly in relation to pig farming. Now, I don't know if you realise, but it's a diabolical disgrace the way the pigs are reared. Same with chicken. They're kept in very confined conditions without any like filth, hardly any room to move. They're filled full of antibiotics and growth hormones, all sorts of rubbish. And we're bloody well eating that ourselves, you see. And that's going to cause a problem with all these antibiotics get into our system. And you can only create so many antibiotics, and then they become the bacteria become immune to them, and walking problems, And this farming, he reckons, this kiddie here, his name is Dominic West, and he reckons there's going to be further outbreaks of MRSA. One doctor's already died as a result of it. Doctors handling patients with it, And this factory farm, which actually, the concept started in America, actually with Smithfield, which is the largest such factory. They're not farms as such, they're factories. They're called factories. The EU is trying to promote the idea right across into the Far East, so that eventually the likes of Poland and the Czech Republic become suppliers of cheap meat for the rest of us. I mean, we've got to really think about this, because not only are they destroying the small farmers, like farm traditional way, but they're giving us all this rubbish meat. It's going to be dangerous. I mean, just reading here, apparently in Utah, they've got this. I'll read it for you. It's got a farm here, and it generates more excrement in 1 year than the human population of Manhattan. Can you believe that? The result was described by an economist as as significant negative externalities. In other words, poo. Hey? Why did he say it? Huge open pools of pig feces turned pink by a mixture of bacteria, urine, blood and excrement. How lovely is that, eh? And it can be smelled for hundreds of miles. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't know. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's down to us as consumers, really, because we're the ones that are making the choices. And I don't know about you, but I think us British have got double standards when it comes to animals, We make a fuss about pets, and, in the way bullfighting, we don't like fox hunting, and we don't like the way the French rear their veal or goose for foie gras, because so proper foie gras, they reckon you've got to show all this milk down the goose's beak, oral orifice. Poor bugger, bloody thing, I mean, it's not fair, is it? And so they can have their bloody foie gras. But it's double standards. We turn a blind eye to what's going on pig farms. I mean, it's just not odd, is it? So I say we've got, as consumers, we've got to make responsible choices. Anyway, that starts with me, actually. I'm preaching, but it's got to start with me, really. This household's got to change its ways. No more factory farm pigs or chicken. Organic, everything. Free range, the lot. They eat to see. They saw it. It's no brainer, is it? Hey? Easily done. Is it? Yeah. That's my moral message for today. Toodle pip.